It is the Mason Adams Show. Welcome to episode 3, featuring our special guests this week, Jim Adams and Jacob Zaz. Woo! We are live in studio, coming to you from Six Springs Tavern in Richardson, Texas. That's on the corner of Beltline Road and Plano Road. So if you just tuned in, somebody sent you the link and you're listening to us right now and you're coming down Plano Road or Beltline,
Either one.
light them up. Is that what you say? Stomp on the brakes. Do what you got to do. Swerve.
Make a U-turn.
Make a U-turn. Don't wreck, but get here fast because we got tunes coming. We got drink specials. It is Whiskey Wednesday down here at Six Springs Tavern. And we got the live studio audience joining us for the Mason Adams Show. This is episode 3. I am Mason Adams. I am our host. Today's special guest, introduced earlier, Jim Adams, Jacob Zaz.
Hello. Thanks for having us, Mason.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming on, both of you. So this show is, this show where everything is homemade, even the music, even the lamps, and you never know what you're going to get. There's always a script, but we're usually off of it most of the time. So
I didn't see the script. Was I supposed to read the script?
No, you don't get the script.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nobody could hear you if you didn't talk into the mic.
There's
That's
a
part of the podcast thing. Yeah. So, all right. So we're going to play some tunes for you. But before we do that, this would be the part of the show where we bring up the sponsors. So we don't have any, and we'd love to. And so if you would
could
like
change that.
for me to play your guitar strings or use your instrument cables or wear your hats or talk about your business and the
Maybe you have a
strengths.
tire shop, the best tire shop in town. Like
That's
we
right.
We could tell people about it.
If you have the best tire shop, we'll tell people it's the best. Even if you don't.
We'll say it anyway.
We'll say it anyway. So, we'd love to have you be a sponsor of the Mason Adams Show.
If you make beer, you could sponsor it, I bet, right?
Yeah, if you make
That'd be
beer.
cool.
Yeah, don't hesitate to reach out. You can hit me in the DMs or find me live here, every Wednesday in June for the residency show. So, anyway, love to have you sponsor the show. So if you don't, anyway, we do want to shout out to our unofficial sponsor, and mostly unofficial because they don't really know that they sponsor a lot of our shows recently, and that's Stanley Steamer, your home cleaner.
Those guys.
For the official, unofficial sponsorship. Sometimes at Mason Adams project shows, things tend to get a little wet and sticky. I don't know if you've ever seen Loyal Sally, but their shows tend to get kind of
I have
wet
not.
also. Anyway, so we have deemed Stanley Steamer our unofficial sponsor for a while here. We've been tagging them on Facebook a lot.
Do they respond ever?
Zero response so
Damn.
far. Yeah, zero response so far. So anyway, they're getting called out. And then this is the next segment, which is announcements. Announcements. So typically, the announcements on the Mason Adams Show kind of work like prayer requests, right? And so it's like if you have something, that you like, heavy on your heart, or you want to add somebody to the prayer list, then you can just submit those things. Well, I said that in episode 1, and then I was just looking for like announcements in general, and then I started getting, lots of prayer requests.
Like actual prayer requests?
Yeah, actual prayer requests. So, I'm good for a few prayers, here and there, but like it was a lot. And so we want to make sure that we're clear and understanding and make sure that all your prayers are mostly directed other places right? Because
Yeah, we don't have that much power here, you know.
right. Yeah, this is
So you're saying all the Baptists were confused because it's happening on Wednesday?
yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's low budget, very, very low key.
keep it simple, you know.
Keep it simple. So yeah. Anyway, keep your prayer requests in the other inboxes, and if you have announcements or things that you want me to say on the show next week, please send me a message. Let me know, as long as it's like relevant.
I know a
Or
worthy
not.
announcement, right? It's
what?
it's the solstice today. Today's
Today
the summer
is the
solstice.
solstice.
That's a
Happy
good
summer
That's
announcement.
a
solstice.
major announcement.
That's a major announcement. Say. Anyway, I do
Special
have
day.
one announcement today, though, and that is that Friday night, right here at Six Springs Tavern, it's going to be Mason Adams Project. That's the full band outfit. We're going to be throwing down with Brave Little Hal and Benjamin Marshall out here on Friday night. So if you're free, come on down. It's going to be a good one. Doors are
That
7.
sounds like a
You
good
can
one.
Come get dinner before, and we'd love to have you out. Do have to shout out to our drummer for the past almost 6 years, Peter Lyman. This is going to be his final map show, most likely, with all of us all together in this area. So, trying to get some folks out for that one. Send him off on a high note. We love Six Springs, so it's a good spot for that show to take place. So anyway, come on out. We'd love to have you. All right. So let's get into this. So this is like a song swap podcast video web send off alert thing, right? You know, it's flowing. You know, it's got this easiness to it, because you never know really what's going to happen. But the way I've imagined it going is that this is not, about me. This show is about you guys. And so we don't really want to know as much about me as we do our special guest. And so I ask the questions, you guys give responses, and then we play some tunes. Okay, so we've done that now for 2 shows. This is number 3, so it's been a pretty good system. So anyway, all right, let's get into some questions first. Okay, if you didn't know, or if you haven't put this together yet, okay, Jim Adams is my dad, okay, and Jacob is my old neighbor. All right, so first questions. Jim, first, where are you from? When did you start playing music?
Okay, I'm from Bonham, Texas, and I started playing guitar in 1964.
1964, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a good guitar year.
That's a long time ago.
There was a lot of people that were playing some good music back in 1964.
So we're kind of getting ahead of us, but who did you listen to in 1964 that made you want to play guitar?
Obviously the Beatles, the Rolling Stones. I guess the man who really first got me thinking about the idea that I need to learn how to play guitar was Elvis Presley. Elvis Presley, when I saw Elvis do that, I said, man, I got to do that. That just looks like too much fun.
That's cool. All right, Jacob. Same question. So, where are you from? And then, when did you start playing music?
All right, I'm from Royce City, Texas.
Royce City.
Yeah, and that's where I lived when I was born, and I started playing music pretty early. We lived next door to my grandparents' house, and they had an old upright piano up in there, and I would spend most of my days over there, and I would play on that thing when I was like little bitty. So I'm not sure how old, probably just like when I was starting to hit on that thing when I was just a few years old probably. And I think I got a guitar when I was like 7 or something maybe, or I got an acoustic guitar before that even, and there was this old songbook, and I learned how to play a couple like old folk songs from that, and I started taking lessons at some point. So I started pretty dang young. I don't remember exactly. I think I started taking guitar lessons in like 4th or 5th grade or something. So that was, and I had taught myself a little bit of stuff prior to that, but that's when and I know I did like my first live performance playing and singing in the 6th grade, which would have been in like 2003 or 4, something like that.
Cool, man. It's been baffling me, you know, the guests that I've had on the show so far. When I ask about, you know, just when did your musical journey start, or you know, how long have you been playing the instrument, and everybody is just like, you know, been playing their instrument since they were so young, you know, and everybody had found, you know, being able to, you know, whatever, learn an instrument at that age. And I'm just like, you know, I drummed, you know, at, you know, young age, and in band and
You
middle
played a
school.
bass guitar
and
too.
Played a little bass guitar, and you know, but it took me a long time before I like.
Those
learned
are
how to
honestly
play
two of the
guitar.
best foundational things to start out
Well,
on, though. Really, especially bass. Like
I started playing
you know,
bass.
That's
Yeah, in the band.
starting as a bass player will make you a better musician for sure. Like, and
I agree. Yeah, and you
any
know
kind
that
of
was
rhythmic
kind of
foundation.
that was kind of the deal with the guitar too, because I, you know, had pretty good rhythm, and you know already kind of had right hand pretty good.
Running a
you know.
country band or ish band, you know, it's all rhythm. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
the whole thing. I mean, it's you're playing this thing as a rhythmic instrument more than anything.
Right.
It's like like a piano is considered a percussion instrument. I mean, it's like you know, you're holding down a tempo primarily.
So, do you only play guitar, Jacob? Do you play
No, I
piano
play other things.
also?
I play drums and some piano and
Cool.
bass and that's all like proficiently. I'm trying to learn fiddle a little bit, and I
Cool.
can make noise on most things that I pick up. But you know, in any like real capacity, I just the regular rock and roll instruments.
That's awesome, dude. All right, next question, and then we'll get into some tunes, I promise. Because this is going to be pretty stark contrast here. This is going to be kind of fun. All right, so this is, and we already kind of heard from Jim. So let's just go to Jacob on this one, and then we'll go into some music. So Jim mentioned the Beatles. He mentioned Rolling Stones.
Stones.
Mentioned Elvis Presley being his first kind of guitar influence. Okay. Anybody else, Jim, that prevalent back then? Okay, let's go to Jacob. Okay. Jacob, your, I guess, earliest musical influences, like, where were you just like, I know who this is good music, I want to do that?
Well, it was my parents' CDs, and I guess the first things that come to mind was like Elton John Greatest Hits. I think the first one where he's like sitting at the white piano with the cane and everything.
Cool.
Total banger.
Cool.
Foo Fighters, The Color and the Shape. I listened to the hell out of that CD as a little kid. Boston. Leonard Skinner, lots of Leonard Skinner. The Eagles. I think, yeah, that's kind of, those are a lot of the mainstays, like for road trips, or I'd be at home, and my dad had a nice, you know, stereo system. And yeah, those were the CDs. And then a little later, Blink-182, Enema of the State.
For
That
sure.
was a total mainstay
For
at some
sure.
point.
So I was waiting. I did say that there would be this contrast, which there kind of was. You know, Dad's older bands or older musicians. You know, Jacob kind of like more, you know, whatever 2000s, I guess, you know, 90s type thing. But then, you know, there was this crossover where you said the Eagles,
Yep.
right? And I
Yeah,
know
yeah.
that Dad loved the Eagles,
Yep.
you know, and so like that's crazy.
Yeah, the
And
Eagles'
think ab-
Greatest Hits
and
was
think
another
about the
huge one
Eagles'
for
Greatest
me.
Hits album, like that has transcended.
And it didn't even
generations.
have Hotel California on it. So honestly, my childhood Eagles experience is devoid of Hotel California.
that
I didn't hear
crazy?
that till much
Isn't that
later,
crazy?
even. Which I'm kind of grateful for that, because I still like that song. Everyone seems to hate
Hey,
it for
when
some
Hell
reason. I
Freezes
still
Over
like
is
it.
still is just an incredible album. Just a beautiful album.
Which album?
When Hell Freezes Over.
Oh yeah. I guess that's the one I'm thinking. Oh, we had the greatest hits one, and then I remember that's the live one, right?
Yeah.
When they like got back together. Yeah, I remember that one. We listened to that a bunch too.
Cool. All right, so let's get into some tunes. All right, so we drew straws before you got here, Jacob, and you lost. So you get to go first. But remember, we're not going to introduce the tune. We're not going to tell what it's about, because then at the end of the song, we're going to cuss and discuss, and we'll find out more about the song and when it was written and that type of deal. Okay, so then, we've kind of been doing this timeline thing, and you can do it or you don't have to. It's whatever you want to do, because it's the Mason Adams show where everything is homemade. Even
I
the
like
music,
prompts.
even the lamps.
I'm obliged to follow
Yeah,
any prompt
so
you
just
have.
play an oldie but a goodie for us.
Oldie but a
Something that
goodie.
you wrote early on in your maybe guitar music composing state.
Okay. Well, I have to think for a moment. Okay, here's one. I don't know a lot of my oldest stuff anymore, I don't think, but
You don't got to dig too deep.
I'll try this one. It's good to take chances on live
I
stream.
mean, that's
live
what we're here for.
broadcasts, You know?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
So
None of
I
this
had
is
one in mind, but this
previously
one,
recorded, planned.
Actually, no,
any of it.
this one goes back further. I think this is one of the oldest songs I still am somewhat familiar playing. An exchange of words, like cold long glances, like midnight dances in spite of ourselves. It's the damn hot weather and a day spent better than those back when friends could fight and the end didn't matter at all to us. We didn't have the vision to be what we imagined, and it all came crashing down. All around us fell to the bottom, and nobody found us, laying in a hole as deep as we weren't, for all of the lessons we only ever half learned. And fill your lungs with the smoke and sorrow of a star-crossed lover, and hold it in as if we didn't ever need to take another breath, and just breathe a long deep sigh of nothing like relief, and shake it off. It's not like it ever mattered in the first place, and it all came crashing down. All around us fell to the bottom where nobody found us, laying in a hole as deep as we weren't, for all of the lessons we only ever half learned. And wait just a minute, don't walk away quite yet. Maybe this isn't the best it'll ever get. And if you don't have the time to spend with me, I guess I'll just have to wait around and see. And it all came crashing down. All around us fell to the bottom where nobody found us, laying in a hole as deep as we weren't, for all of the lessons we only ever half learned.
All right.
Hey,
It's Jacob Zaz, everybody. I like that song. What's it called?
it's called Days Spent Better.
Days Spent Better. Well, it doesn't suck.
Oh, thanks.
So I
That's cool.
can't cuss it.
Right
which
on.
this is the cuss and discuss
Okay.
section, right? What key is that song in?
C.
In
It's just-
C.
Yeah, it doesn't even it doesn't have any non-harmonic chords in it. It's just straight up C. But it's all seventh chords, which makes it sound. Or I guess it's got that one kind of a. It's got like. That might be kind of a deviation or something.
Cool.
I don't know what those chords are offhand though. So,
I like that.
but yeah, it's in C.
Cool.
Thank you.
So how old do you think you were when you wrote that?
I think I wrote it 8 or 9 years ago, because I know I put it out on a record that I put out as an old project. I used to release
like-
music as Science for Giants.
So like
and,
early 20s probably or something?
Yeah. So I would have been like 24, 25, something like that maybe.
So
I
what
guess
is
somewhere in there.
where do you think your inspiration for that song comes at 24 years old?
I'm not really sure. At the time, I was writing conceptual songs. So like I don't think I quite had the life experience to just like tell straight up stories at that point. And so I would kind of start with a concept or a line and build this thing that was somewhat pulling out of nothing, I guess. And what's weird about that song is it's really meant different stuff to me as I've revisited it throughout the years since then. There was a time like 4 years ago where that song really struck me in a new light, and now it means something different, I think, altogether. But
Isn't that cool?
it is neat. I like revisiting it, and it's one that I am glad that I wrote, because I'll go back to it and I'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I had some idea of how to handle this back then even, or whatever, and it's cool. But I still don't exactly know what I was thinking when I wrote it, or I don't know. Yeah, I think it was kind of just like I thought the words sounded nice more than anything at the time, I think.
Yeah, that was a good song, man.
Thank you.
All right, Jim. Dad.
Let me get a quick drink here.
Wet the old whistle.
I couldn't figure that out.
Other way, I think it's kind of like a puzzle. Do you want this thing?
I could not figure it out, honestly.
I've done it before. I've definitely succeeded at it in the past. There it goes.
There it is, right there.
It still didn't really work. Right on. Yeah, it doesn't fit on the thick part of the stand.
It's not gonna fit.
No, but like what you would telescope it up a little bit, and then there's a little bit of skinny bar available.
All the way up. What is this feeling deep inside me? The one that reaches out for you, like branches of a summer pine reaching to the sky of blue. Your voice is like a flute soft tone. For it alone my spirit flows. You turned your back and walked away. There's nothing for us here today. I curse the one that hinders me from pouring out rich melody, reaching up the stairs of time, the vision sweet and thoughts sublime. Hear your distant voice just not like gentle fingers on mine. Brian. Curse the one that hinders me from pouring out this melody, reaching up the stairs of time, vision sweet and sublime. Hear your distant voice just now like gentle fingers on my brow. Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Good job, Jim.
Thank you.
What's that one called?
The name of that song is "What Is This Feeling?" And I got a special dispensation from Lee Leatherwood, who wrote that song. I'm thinking it must have been back in the summer of 1973. He was up in Snowmass, Colorado, right outside of Vail, in Aspen. And he and Larry Austin were up there and spending their time.
Who's Larry Austin?
Larry Austin is another guy who was in our original band that started out as the Nightman and then became the Village Barber, and it eventually was named the Sweet, and it has carried on to just several other variations. The Lazarwood Brothers. Anyway, we've had all sorts of different names through the years, and they had a great time. And Lee had come back. He had just written a couple of really good songs. He really did. I said, man, I got to learn this song.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
Cool.
It has stood the test of time, you might say.
It was nice you joining him here, and always the family singing together always just has like an instant magic quality, and that was really nice.
And I've been listening to him play this song my whole life. Since I can remember music.
in there.
Hey, it motivates you to do something with your abilities, you know it?
Yeah. Shout out Lee Leatherwood, 1973, Snowmass, Colorado.
Yep.
And rest in peace, Larry Austin. All right, so let's move into the next segment of the show. And this is a good time to mention that you still got time to come down to Six Springs Tavern right here in Richardson, Texas. We got happy hour going on still
Some
for
really
a
good
while.
whiskey deals.
Really
if you like
good
whiskey, you should
whiskey
come out,
deals.
drink some
For
whiskey with
Whiskey
us.
Wednesday. They got great burgers. They got great tacos. We got music.
You can heckle us in person. You could like come and disrupt the whole show if you
Yeah,
want.
you can watch the show live. So if you're in traffic or you're just tuning in or somebody just sent you the link, like you should all do right now, send somebody the link. Click that share button. Okay, then swing through, hang out with us for a little bit. Storms are gone. Needed some rain. We finally got some over
It
here.
cooled it off. It went down like 10 degrees.
Man, we needed some rain. We've been missing it. Storms have been splitting, and we haven't gotten over here in like a week. So, but now, today was much needed. We got a drink, but we're good. So come hang out. We'll be here for a little while longer. This is the Mason Adams Show, episode 3. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so let's do a couple more questions here because Dad already kind of delved into this topic, and so did Jacob, for that matter. So I want to know, on some of my guests, I do know, I guess, or have known about their different projects and bands and things that they've done. And so Jim, I kind of know. Jacob, I really don't. I know what you're doing now, but I don't really know about what you did do, what you have done, those type of things. So let's talk about that for a little bit. Like first bands, groups, those type of things.
All right. Well, I played in a bunch of bands.
A bunch of bands, like how many?
I counted it up the other day. I think it was like a. So I had. I mean, I'll even count like little high school bands.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
you
no,
know.
it
The first
counts.
band that I like
Counts.
gigged with was Beyond Reckoning, which was a. I mean, this was early high school, right when I could drive, because I was the one driving us to the
Beyond
gigs. I think, yeah, we were very brutal and heavy and like I don't even know, I guess metalcore or something. So that, and then I played in another one that I can't remember the name of in high school at a similar time, and then another one called Overthrow that I was actually the vocalist in. That was a heavy band as well. That was kind of like, if you're familiar with Lamb of God, I feel like that band was very influenced by
yeah,
that band.
yeah, kind of heavy.
And then like another one out of high school, and then I have one called Machines of Our Own. That again, this is a heavier band. This is a more chaotic band that I played guitar in. So that makes 5, and then. Bad Latimer, I played drums in and produced a couple EPs for, and that was like a very grunge garage rock sort of thing, which the two guys, the guitar player and bass player, were the primary songwriters, and they really fantastic songs. I'm really proud of that stuff, and
Cool.
it's still out there.
Bad Latimer, I like that name.
Yeah, I thought that was such a
That's
good
a sweet name. Yeah, because if you're not in Dallas, we have Good Latimer, which is the
yeah,
main
it's a very choice
road down
Dallas
in Deep
reference right
Valley, so
there.
that's cool. Yeah, I like
So
that name.
6 or 7 there, and then Science for Giants was what I released my own when I started writing songs. I then started like producing my own music and kind of being a one-man band, and I would release my songs as Science for Giants. There were iterations where I had a band and recorded with other musicians, but I put out a lot of music as that, like 2 albums and a couple EPs, and then I was in another heavy band called A Language Learned, and we put out 2 EPs, and that I was really proud of that material, and I played bass in that, but I produced the EPs.
Dude, that's a lot of bands.
Yeah, and now I have
So-
the Loose Ends,
and now
that's our
it's
current band
Jacob
is
Wi-
Jacob Prizaz and the Loose Ends.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a culmination of a lot of different, friends that just came. Like I decided I wanted to have a band, and all of a sudden there was a band of incredible musicians that I like hanging out with.
That's sweet, dude.
They're playing my songs with me, and it was kind of magical, and that's
Isn't
the
it
ride we're on
magical?
currently.
So
it's
magical.
it's
That's
been a lot
awesome.
of fun.
So we'll get to more loose end stuff in a little bit. But what was the next? Oh, you know what my first band name was?
Huh?
Kickin' Asphalt.
Kicking Asphalt. That's a good band
Uh-huh,
name.
and I was the drummer.
Were y'all like a skate punk band?
We were kind of that, yeah. But I was 10, I think.
sounds
Or
perfect. Hell yeah.
maybe, yeah. I was pretty young. Then I was in Larkspur Lies.
Marksboro Lies.
Larkspur,
Larks.
which Larkspur is the neighborhood that I grew up in.
Okay, good.
Well, that I lived in kind of my high school years in Bonham. That was a good one. That was like the Hawthorne Heights. Who did we like? What were they called? Bite to Break Skin. What was that band?
Right, the very
Fight
like
to Break
screamo or like heavy emo.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's what we
yeah.
were into.
I was
at that
definitely
time.
into that.
Yeah, but
scene for a
also,
while.
Blink 182 was our super fave. Still is. Yeah,
Yeah.
they, crush. Yeah. So yeah, that's funny.
I was always
You were
into
in a lot of
pretty
bands.
extreme
You
music.
were in a lot of
like-
bands too. Anyway,
Yeah, it was a bunch.
and so then Mason Adams Project. I wanted to perform, and I wanted to play music with other people, but I was like not good enough, at all to like be in somebody else's band. And so I just thought, well, if I get really good at playing my songs, then
and y'all are a great band,
yeah,
man.
we just
Like,
kind of did that. So that's that's cool. All right,
It's amazing what time does.
it's crazy. All right, Jim. So we had, and then
Wait a second.
go. Tell us about your groups.
Yeah, the very first band I was ever in was the Nightmen.
Okay, so the Nightmen, are y'all 12 years old, 13?
Some 12, some 13, one 14. Yeah, 12, 13, 14.
Did you play bass?
Played bass in the Nightmen.
4-piece or 5-piece?
2 guitars, bass. 2 guitars, bass, and a drum. So that's 4.
You got to talk into the mic.
Four.
Four.
Four
Okay.
piece. Next band was the Village Barber.
Village Barber.
And the reason why that name became the Village Barber, there was this barber shop in Bonham where we all grew up. That was downstairs, and we all kind of ended up spending some time in this barber shop, the basement barber shop. So we, plus there was this thing that, we weren't supposed to be growing long hair. So there was this thing about the whole hair deal. And hey, the Village Barber was a good name. That was kind of a soul band, rock and roll band. We had an organ player. We had, good organ player. Played a lot of songs by The Doors,
Village Barber ripped, huh?
Yeah, it was
So
a good
why
song.
why did what's the first band?
The first band was the Nightmen.
What happened to the Nightmen?
It was more of just a progression, really, that occurred. That we started playing some different kind of music and had some different people that showed up, and why not? Let's do it.
So after the Village Barber was what, the Sweet?
The Sweet.
What happened? Why did the Village Barber cease
there
to
was-
exist?
There were people who were leaving, doing different things, and all of a sudden, hey, we took off for maybe a month, if that long, and we added a guy by the name of Sam Leatherwood, who turned out was Lee Leatherwood's first cousin. Well, Sam was 10 years old, and he was kind of like he was forced to grow up with a baby grand piano in the house, and turned out he was the real musician in the band. Okay? But he started out playing a double bass set of drums.
Nice.
He started playing with us, and we had some good times. We started getting, we started doing more creative stuff, playing the music that we kind of wanted to hear, and even taking some of the songs and doing what we wanted to do with some of those songs.
Cool.
Had a good time.
So who was was Lee Leatherwood the songwriter?
Well, we really weren't playing a lot of. These were cover. These were cover bands.
Did y'all ever play any of y'all's original songs
really.
as a band together?
Not until we got into college, and when we started.
So that's the next thing. So what happened in college that y'all didn't? Why was there not a band in college, or like y'all didn't want to play music anymore? You're
Well,
just chasing women.
No,
the
it's
whole
not that
time?
it's not that we weren't playing music anymore. I had all my equipment stolen, so I was out of the rock and roll business all of a sudden. So it was just a reality. I mean, I was down to my old FO Archtop Gibson guitar for a while, which I still have, thank goodness.
You said everything got stolen?
Yeah, I had
sucks.
this beautiful Gibson ES 330 TDC, thin line hollow bodies with dual P90s on it, cherry red.
That looks so good in my
Then
collection.
then
Picture
a
it.
box.
Gosh.
Then that a box of Buckingham reverb amp that was just gone
Dang.
in one night. We'd moved from one house to another, and they were just stolen.
That's awful.
Yeah, things happen.
All right, well, let's get into some tunes. All right, so Jim, this is your round to go first.
What,
so,
what happened to you?
No.
What happened to you?
What? Oh, you need me to play a
Yeah,
song?
what happened to you?
What? I mean, I can play a song.
Yeah, you do play a song.
I'll play a song. Okay.
Let's hear some Mason
Get
Adams.
lazy.
The
on us
crowd
here.
says it's the Mason Adams show. It is. I got one for you. So.
You got to tighten it.
I mean, I did tighten
I have to Keaton knows.
All right, sorry about technical difficulty. All right, so if you followed along last week, I think it was last week, I went to go play this song and completely forgot the words to it. So hopefully I don't do that this time. So you've gone and messed it all up again. You've been living large behind the shawl. You're everyone's best friend, like a movie star, the shiny car ruined you again. And it's a shame you play this game, but nobody ever wins. And you don't have to play this game no more. You don't have to play this game no more. 'Cause I'm sure you're tired of losing and waking up on the floor. You don't have to play this game no more. Last night I stumbled in after 2. Saw my star in my local bar. Been regular since before you, but your closet stood there empty with the note stuck by the door. She said she ain't gonna play this game no more. She ain't gonna play this game no more. She ain't gonna play this game no more. Because his promises are empty, he's let her down once more. Now she ain't gonna play this game no more. That's the last time I'm feeling sick over you. I must be gone, I'm moving on. I'm still getting over you, because you left me high and dry. So I was only going to the store. Oh, I ain't gonna play this game no more. I ain't gonna play this game no more. I ain't gonna play this game no more. I'm strong enough this time not to open the front door. Oh, I ain't gonna play this game no more. You don't have to play this game no more. You don't have to play this game no more. There's more to life than envy, always wanting something more. You don't have to play this game no more. Whew! It's been a while since I played that one, obviously. That one's called Games.
Is that an older one?
It's really not that old. You know, this is the deal, to be quite honest. I like the song a whole lot. I feel like it's got this potential to create a moment in the live setting that we, as a band, my band, we haven't really achieved yet. And I don't know if it's like it's a slower tune
It's
for
like
us.
trying to hit the Tinder moment. Like,
Yeah, you know, that's the spot with that tune. And I don't know if it's like, I don't know. and maybe it has, you know, for some. For me, like, I don't feel like it's accomplished what I, you know, kind of think it could in the live setting or whatever. But no, I wrote that song maybe during the pandemic. Probably that was probably a 2020 tune. I would imagine something like that. Not too long ago, but it's on the album. I say the album because I've only ever released one.
What's that called?
It's called Old Red River. And so there's 15 tracks on that one. And, you know, that was, it was pretty cool because some of the songs were a little bit older, kind of like 2015, you know, 16. And then, you know, lots of the songs were kind of written during the pandemic that went on that album. And there's 15 songs on there, and most of them are pretty good. I wrote most of them, and then my lead guitar player, Gil Altum, has a couple on there that he wrote. They're MAP originals. Gil Altum wrote those. And then there's one that I wrote the lyrics to, and then he came up with the music for. So
Nice.
that was fun too. So yeah, Old Red River, go check it out. That one's called Games. I would say that it's kind of a deep cut. You know,
That one's on the record, you said?
it is, and we really don't play it out too much. You know, we just don't because I don't feel like we've been able to do with it what I think we could do with it or something. I don't know. You know. So I don't know. Maybe come out Friday night to the show.
Yeah, you can break it out.
Maybe we'll bust out Games for you. It's been on
Polish
the
it up.
shelf for a little bit. Yeah. Cool. All right. So, geez, that feels good to get that, you know, I guess, out of the way. Last week I tried to play that song. Try to play first verse. Not there. So, anyway, got that out of the way. All right. So, let's move on to the next segment. So, we talked about groups. We talked about a little bit of the history and background. So I kind of like this, Jim. Tell us about just a couple of the shows that y'all played back then, and what was the pay like?
What was the pay?
Yeah, the pay.
The payola. We were kind of entrepreneurial in a way. We started having these shows at the place called the Bonham Youth Center. And we would charge, I think we started out charging $1 per person, but we would have about 140, 150 people show up at the Bonham Youth Center. And now think about this. This is back in the days when minimum wage was $1.85 an hour. So to come up with $1, you know, somebody had to you know, that was a half of an hour's work for them to come up with that $1 to come see us. And there were 4 of us in the band, so we're splitting $140, $150 4 ways. So we're there for 3 hours. We're putting on a 3-hour gig. We play for an hour, take a 10-minute break, play for another hour, take a 10-minute break, then finish it up that way. And by the end of the 3rd set, we were kind of playing a few songs over again. You know, that's just when we first started out. Now, by the time it was all over, we had a pretty good set list that we could play a lot of different songs. But, you know, that's what I'd come out of there with $35 to $40.
How did y'all get to your first gigs?
We drove.
Who drove?
We all drove.
Yep.
We all had cars.
So you're 16 at this time.
Yeah, I'm 15.
Y'all are playing
I got my license at 15.
15.
And a couple of guys have got their license at 14.
Cool.
You know, on a special deal.
And you were driving. Tell the audience what you were driving, Jim.
Well, first started out driving a 1931 Model A Ford
Nice.
that I drove for 2 years when I was in high school.
A Model A Ford.
31, 2-door sedan, black.
That's awesome. What was your first vehicle, Jacob?
A 2001 Jetta VR6,
Cool.
5-speed,
Yeah,
no AC.
Jetta. No AC. Yeah, I had a 1997 Toyota Camry,
Nice.
gold.
My grandma had a '97 Camry Gold that I would
Probably
borrow
looked-
from time to
probably
time. That was a
wasn't
great
gold,
car.
but probably looked just like it. It was a great car. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a great car.
I wish
Alright.
I had that car now.
Yeah,
Listen, I
know.
won't ask you to say what happened to that camera.
That's so sad.
It
It's
was
just
sad.
heartbreaking. Just like let somebody drive the car, and they knocked out the oil pan, and so like all the oil leaked out of the car, and we didn't know it.
And that's the end.
Yeah, and goodbye Camry, right? Yeah, yeah, rough deal. All right. Anyway, too much talking. Let's get back into playing some tunes. And Jim, you're up first because we're on round 2
It's time for
now.
another drink here.
And we're doing great. We're doing great. You having a good time, Jacob?
I'm having a great time. This is lovely.
Thank you for coming on the show,
Yeah,
dude.
thank you for asking me, man. This is very, very pleasant.
Dad, thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Mason.
If you haven't been to Six Springs Tavern yet, you got to come check this place out. Friday night would be a perfect opportunity
Is
for
it
the
kosher
Mason
for me to
Adams
step
show.
away for just a second?
Yeah,
Is that
take a
all right?
break. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah.
I can hear it in the whole room for the record.
Mason,
For the
please.
non-studio audience,
You're more than welcome to help
it's
me
nice
this
and
year.
loud in here, and we get to listen to each other all throughout the room. It's lovely. This is a wonderful listening room. If you haven't been to Six Springs Tavern, music sounds really, really good in here, and it's a very, very nice music listening experience. So that's my plug.
Way up north
In the misty mountain, there's a man who sailed the sea. He's flown the skies like an eagle bird, and he's known for more than his word.
he sees no colors, but feels all pain. When you stab him in the heart once again, how can he go on when no one understands? How can he not love? How can he learn to be a man? He sees no colors, but feels all pain. When you stab him in the heart once again, how can he go on when no one understands? How can he not love? How can he learn to be a man?
Good one.
Not bad. Not bad.
Tell us about that song, Jim.
Well, it's the one of those classic breaking up for your girl's first girlfriend song. Wrote it on the banks of Stock Tank there in Bonham, Texas, about 200 yards east of my house. One January morning back in 1970. I can't remember whether 71 or 72.
Tell the people that didn't grow up in Bonham or Royce City what a stock tank is.
Well, you know, it's some people call it a pond, duck pond. We call it stock tanks. Anybody right here knows what a stock tank is?
It's like a body of water that the cows drink out
Yeah,
of.
it's a
like
stock tank.
livestock, a stock tank.
That
Or
was a short tank.
yeah, or
I called
that-
it a pond.
Yeah,
for-
or that has like fish stocked in it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
stock
just
your
for
fish.
reference.
It's a stock tank.
So that's pretty cool that you're on a stock tank in Northeast Texas, right in about way up north in the Misty Mountains. That's pretty cool. You're such a visionary.
I don't know, whatever.
How old were you when you wrote that song?
Must have been 19, maybe.
Were you truly heartbroken?
Yeah, it was pretty hard
You were
breakup.
19 when you wrote that
It was,
song?
it was a pretty hard breakup.
That's a good song, Dad.
I really loved that girl,
That's a good song.
but we're still good friends. Yeah.
Good. That's a good song.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So tell us, isn't there a story? Didn't somebody offer you money for that song one time?
I've been offered money for the song. Matter of fact, I was up at Gary P. Nunn's Terlingua North back in 1995. And this guy came by there and offered me a sum of money. And I said, no, I'm not ready to sell the song yet.
Smart man.
And actually,
Dad.
actually, it was a pretty good little sum of money he offered me, too. I
Oh.
said, no,
I
just not
believe
ready
you.
yet.
I believe you. Somebody told the story one night about George Strait bought Amarillo by Morning for like $50 and a round
Wow.
of tequila shots or something
Wow.
like that.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I think I've heard something similar about Friends in Low Places, that it was bought for a bar tab or something.
Crazy.
I don't know if those are just urban legends or not, though.
That's nuts. That's a good song. All right, Jacob, you're up.
I'm up. All right.
You can't tell us what it's about.
All right. No context.
Yeah.
Except maybe we're moving somewhat chronologically.
Yeah, except
Perhaps.
for maybe this is from a little while ago. Not the beginning, the middle.
Okay. Middle period. All right. I'm broke down, stoned, and drunk in Kansas City, watching that old river move along. It takes with it the silt and the runoff, unimpeded and without need of song. But I write about it anyway, and I'm sure I'm not the first to be taken by this situation. Oh, and to need to turn it into verse. And kindred spirits are us penmen, with the gamblers buying their lives from an unstoppable force that just keeps on turning. It's churning, swirling, moving all day and night. So flow along, old river, in the well-worn words of the past. These words that ring true now as ever. Oh, words to help make good times last. thank you.
All right. What's that one called?
That's called River City Jubilee.
River City Jubilee.
Yes, sir.
What's that about?
Well, I was. It was just written in the moment. I was in Kansas City with my
Cool.
dad.
Cool.
We had a broke down truck, and I was drunk and stoned. And I wrote that down. And I could see the Missouri River from our hotel room, and I wrote that down. And I just wrote the rest of the song. And he was downstairs gambling. He was. We were both trying to learn how to count cards at the time. Which I did learn how to
Which
count
is
cards,
a great
but I never learned.
father-son bonding
Yeah,
thing.
truly, truly.
Yeah, count cards
I
with
think
you
he
on
was
there.
sick too. He nearly had pneumonia. It was I don't know. It was a wild one. And we did learn how to count cards, but neither of us figured out how to turn that into an
Okay, so-
actual
so how old were you
profitable
at the time?
endeavor. That would have been that was like gosh, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago.
Old enough to go in the casino.
Yeah, I think by that time, I was 26, 27,
So
somewhere
how
around
old
there
was your
probably.
dad?
Oh, well, I don't know. That might be confidential. I don't know if he wants me. I don't know.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still
he wouldn't
alive.
care.
Yeah, he was early 50s at that time. Probably he
yeah,
was probably
he's
about
fine.
50. You know. And so yeah, I was just sitting up in the hotel room by myself and just chilling, and that first line, came, and that was one of those songs that I just wrote it all out real fast, and I was like, there it is, and he came up, and I was like, hey, I wrote this song, and I play it now as a country song, and honestly, that's how I wrote it at the time, but I didn't, think of it that way, and I never, at the time that I wrote it, I never fleshed it out in that format. I had the words down, and initially when I showed it to him, like I just sang the melody similar to how I just did it, probably, if not dead on, but then when I actually put it to music, it was for Science for Giants, which is like a different genre of music. And so I played it way different. And it's on a Science for Giants record, and it's like broken down, stoned and drunk.
Yeah.
It's a totally different vibe.
For sure.
And then and I put that out on a record at the time, and then a couple years ago, kind of transitioned into this more kind of country approach, and pulled that song back out and I figured out that was like the way I originally intended it
That's
to be.
cool,
and
man.
I
I
figured out
can't
the chords
wait.
for it. And
I can't wait to do that with several of my songs, and definitely direction. I've brought this up on the show before, but I'll get there. But it's crazy how the songs evolve, right? Because there's even songs like that we've recorded, like have now in the live setting, they're like a totally different type thing. Maybe not totally different, but just way bigger or fuller or whatever, right? And then the question I wanted to ask was, what is your songwriting process like? You mentioned being able to get that line and then being able to complete that song in what was like, not very long.
20 minutes.
Do you do that a lot, or was that kind of like, got lucky type deal?
those are my favorite ones. So that
Sure.
happens sometimes, and when it happens, it's very, very nice.
Absolutely.
And it's a lot. It's easy to have like some confidence in those songs because it's like you feel like you just kind of snatch it out of the air. And
Absolutely.
And
That's
I
the
really,
best.
I think that had happened a few times probably before, but I think that was one of the earlier times that I really experienced that, and I was like, okay, here's a song, and it almost doesn't matter what chords go behind it or whatever. Like, here, this is a song that stands well, and it was very, very easy to write. I was just able to just write whatever came to mind,
I love that.
without overthinking it, and I love it when that happens. It's not that now. Like, to answer your full question,
Yep.
that is not always the case, and I think really, really great songs come about from all types. I mean, there's songs that I've labored over and changed over years, that I think are really good, and I know other people, like I know John Denver would spend just a ridiculous amount of time on certain songs, and I think that those are fantastic songs, and I play those in my live set, and I think that they're great songs, so I think whatever it takes, but I like it a lot when one just comes out. That's so nice.
I like the whatever it takes. And we talked last week a lot about or a couple weeks ago, just for me, it's in waves all the time. Like the roller coaster almost. Just like peaks and valleys,
Yeah.
peaks and valleys.
Of course.
Sometimes the peaks are higher and sometimes the valleys are lower and last longer, right? But it's like, I think even I got to spend some time with my dad here in this early part of the summer break. And I mean, you've seen me being pretty creative, right? Like grabbing guitars and working out songs.
It just
and
kind of comes out of who knows where it's happening, but it just starts happening.
yeah, it's wild, But
And being
have-
willing to accept it when it happens. And,
That's
and be
it,
like,
and
okay, this
jump
is
at
happening.
that.
I'm gonna give
Jump
it the
at that,
time and energy it
yes.
deserves
I
and make the
mean,
most of it.
Yeah, and like I said last week, I've got like, I really did. Sometimes I feel bad about it for some reason, but I quit writing as much, handwriting as much music, and now I use my phone, and it's kind of a crutch, which
I like it. It's not copy paste is really nice, or being able to like delete lines and change little words very
yes,
easily. That's
grab
really
a chorus,
nice.
drop it down here. Yes,
Mhm.
I agree.
And then go in later and add in the chords
Absolutely.
over it. I love that. That's
I've
really
got-
nice.
Yes, that is the thing. And, like, I don't know how many songs I'm currently working on, you know what I mean? But there's always one there, and I can just flip back, and like maybe one day it's like, a line, you get one line to one song. Then maybe another day you got a whole bridge or a whole chorus or something, but like that's the nature of for the word thing for me, I guess.
Did you
It
used
is
to keep like a paper and pen
big
journal?
time.
Yeah. I
Big
think that's a
time.
really nice thing, but I never got used to carrying around a pen or like or having it so accessible as the phone, where it's just one thing that's here and fits in my whole pocket,
Yeah.
and I don't have to like, any pen that I would like, I couldn't, I don't know. It's just like such a silly little logistical thing,
It's
but
a
that
handy
makes all the
tool.
difference for me.
It's a really handy tool.
It is. Yeah.
great color commentary, Jim.
It's
Thank you.
true though,
Pen- they are.
the phone could be a crutch, but it offers. I like it as a songwriting
Dude,
tool.
I mean,
man,
I was
'cause
just-
I can just pull it up and scroll and be like, oh, that one. I'm feeling that one right now, and write some lines, and then save it for later and go back to the other
Isn't
thing.
that cool?
And that's
I like
that's
it.
really nice.
I like it. I know. So, yeah. That's awesome. That song was written in 20 minutes.
And I did write that one on paper actually. I do
Cool.
still have the original journal entry with it
Cool.
written in there.
I went to college in Kansas. So I got to spend some time in Kansas City. Have
it's a
some
good
very
city.
close friends in Kansas City and surrounding areas. So
I'm quite fond of Kansas City.
yeah, I like Kansas City, man. It's a cool spot. All right. Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
Oh, already again. All right. So this is a new one, and I might be skipping the timeline thing, but know that I'm digging here. I am. For me, I'm digging, and each week, basically, people have a little bit of a chance to prepare a different song, but I try to keep it fresh. I'm trying to keep it fresh, so. Some of these songs, like, they're never been heard. The band doesn't play these yet. So anyway, this is one of those. So this one is called She Sings. And so I introduced the song.
Yeah, you
before
weren't
I
supposed
played
to
it.
do that.
Wasn't
You broke
supposed
your
to do
own
that.
rules.
I'll do that. I'll tell you at
Play
the
the
end.
song.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Chicken wings and all the finer things that make her sing sweet melodies. Records from last month, she never loved him anyway. Knocking rounds in a magazine, her eyes set on an early spring, the way the sun licks the dew, the blossoms buzz with wings. Down all her hair, and he's not there. Not a care in the world, because she's better off that he's not around than to do it on her own. This is her comeback. dirty dishes filling up that sink. And when she stepped outside, she heard Patsy Cline on the radio. Oh man, look at her smile. She hadn't had one of those in a while. And she whispers to herself, it's gonna be alright. She lets down all her hair, and he's not there. Not a care in the world, 'cause she's better off that he's not around than to do it on her own. This is her comeback song. Blinded by the sign, when her heart is on the line. It's no one day will find her way. It's only a matter of time. She'll sing, she'll let down all her hair, and he's right there. Not a care in the world, 'cause she's better off since he came around. Gonna take this town by storm. This is her comeback song. Thank you. That one's.
song.
I guess that one's gonna be She Sings, which is it's. I think that this is gonna be the second part in what is gonna be basically the She trilogy or something like that. Because I already have She Cries, and now She Sings, and then there will be this third.
I know you asked the questions, but who is she?
But I don't really, well, I mean, she could be any she, I think. And I think for both of those songs, She Cries and She Sings, you know, completely different she's for both of those. But, you know, it could be the She Suite or something, right? You know, those three songs together.
Right.
Right.
It's like a character study kind of approach.
No, I mean, not even at all. No, and whenever I wrote this one, I wasn't even thinking about the other one. You know, I think it just kind of ended up, you know, being that way. So that one's pretty new.
Nice.
Like really
It's a
new.
good
I
song.
got the scratch track for that one, so you
And
know.
y'all haven't been playing that out with the band yet? you
At
said?
all. No,
Word.
they don't. Yeah, they don't know that one for sure. So, yeah, I almost messed it up there, you know. But that's the beauty of it. And, you know, I don't know, like, why not come on the Mason Adams show and mess up one of my songs? Well, for one, the new songs, nobody knows them anyway, right? So, like, if I just play them, like, nobody really knows if I mess it up or not. Like, that's the beauty of it.
I mean, you could say it's not a mess up. I mean, it's your song.
It's-
it doesn't have a set
it is
way
what
has
it
to
is.
go.
It was
Like,
what it
it's-
was, right? You know, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like some people might get bent about like if you're gonna go play a song out, like it's got to be perfect. You got to nail it, and like I'm a little bit about that with the band. Like I definitely am with the band. Like we got to know something. But like for me, like that's the best place to go, kind of fall on your face is the Mason Adams show, and it's like no pressure, and you can just yeah.
It's a supportive environment.
Where everything's homemade, even the music, even the lamps.
Those are good lamps. No, that was a good song, though, man.
Thanks,
I enjoyed
buddy.
it.
All right, we're doing good on time. We're sticking with the schedule. So let's do this. Let's hear. Jim, you got a song?
thought we were going to loop around again.
Who are we looping to? Jacob?
I think it's Jacob's turn.
Oh, okay. So
flip flopping
We're
because
gonna
last time he's
flip-flop.
like, now it's your turn.
Now
this
we're
time,
doing
so
a
yeah,
reverse
so,
flip
yeah.
flop here, okay?
reverse flip flop. Uno reverse.
Reverse flip.
I never
Auto-
understood Uno rules.
Omaha. Yeah, I
like,
did
y'all are
learn,
making
like,
these
you
rules
can't-
up.
You can't stack +4s, and
Oh, okay.
I heard no stacking is what the kids call it
Right
these
on.
days. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna hear we'll hear a song from Jacob. We'll hear a song from Jim. We'll talk a few more things, and then we'll end it in our traditional form, which is with you guys sharing the stage in a little song swap fashion.
Okay,
So,
cool.
all right, so this is Jacob Price Zaz, everybody.
All right, so no context, right?
No context.
All right. If you insist. Well, I've been spending too much goddamn money. Easy to laugh, but it ain't that funny. I throw away every cent I earn. Keep asking myself, when will I learn? Won't get ahead in this mean old city. Been living that high life, but it ain't too pretty. Looks awful lonely shooting for the top. And I keep spending, man, I just can't stop. 'Cause I plan on dying as a poor man, not clutching gold in no wrinkled hands. I'll give it all away if I don't blow it in a day. 'Cause you know, money's only good for one thing, and that's spending. Put it all into my gas tank. Drive across the country up to Old Salt Lake. I'll sing my heart out to the great unknown and burn the rest just keeping stone. 'Cause I plan on dying as a poor man, not clutching gold in no wrinkled hands, and give it all away if I don't blow it in a day. 'Cause you know, money's only good for one thing, and that's spending. They say you can't take it to your grave. They also tell you to save, save, save. But that almighty dollar ain't no idle, just a tool. Be careful now or it'll go and make you for a fool. Oh, but as for me, personally, I plan on dying as a poor man, not clutching gold in no wrinkled hands. I'll give it all away if I don't blow it in a day. 'Cause you know, money's only good for one thing, and that's spending. Go on and spend it. Yeah, spend it. Oh, spend it.
I know that song.
Oh, yeah? You know it?
I did well because I heard it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it is out there. It's our current single. So there's my shameless plug of our current single,
Yeah.
which
That's
is
a
an old
wonderful
song. I think it fits into the time delineation really well, because I actually wrote that song, at least 2 years ago.
Cool.
And we've been playing it this whole time. It was one of the early batch of like here's some good country songs that I feel good presenting, and it was one of those early ones. But we actually just put it out like 2 months ago. What's this, like end of June? So yeah, 2 months ago, well, I guess going on 3 months ago, we put it out on April Fool's Day. It's called Good for One Thing.
Good for one thing.
Yes, sir. And we
Go
put it
find
out.
it.
We put it out with a music
Spotify,
video too.
YouTube,
yes,
music
sir.
video,
It's everywhere you wanna see it.
iTunes,
Or hear it.
everywhere you listen to music.
Yeah. Did
Go
you see the
find
video?
it. Yeah. It's
We were proud of that. My wife,
It's good to hear,
Alice, who
dude.
plays in the band,
That we're gonna get there. Yeah, but we're there.
yeah,
We're here.
but she directed and
Let's
produced
t-
that music video.
Did she?
So yeah,
That's
credit where it's
awesome.
due. That was her idea, and
Absolutely.
I threw the money in. So you got to watch the thing, or you won't know what I'm talking about. But credit where it's due. I threw the money in, but no, it was her whole concept, and she directed it and made it look amazing, and it was a whole lot of fun to make. And that was our first time like putting out a video with a song, and that being the premiere like package thing, and it was a lot of fun to make.
That's awesome, man. This is a great transition thing. Not really a transition, but I want to know about. So you're playing solo everywhere all the time. I see you. You're playing with Alice, your lovely wife, who's also multi-instrumentalist.
Yes,
You're
very
playing
talented.
Jacob Price and the Loose Ends, and any other active things right now.
No, that's it. That's the full focus. And really, like, she and I play the most, actually. I think we're doing duo sets on average, once or twice a week at least, like actual sets. And I'm doing a little bit more solo stuff here and there just to, spread it out a bit.
I love the
but yeah,
husband-wife
that's really
duo thing, man. That's so cool.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's
Another
it's a
husband-wife
proper
duo
blessing.
is the Kirby's.
the Kirby's. I've seen them. They're wonderful. They're
The
such sweet people.
Kirby's.
They got
Shout
cool
out
songs.
the Kirby's. I got their summer tour
Nice.
shirt on. So, yeah, that's awesome, man. And Mason Adams Project got to play a show with you guys out at Love and War
Yeah.
a couple weeks ago.
That was really special for us.
That was an awesome
man.
show,
That was,
man.
That Love and War is such a an establishment of a venue around
It
here, and I
is.
was really really excited to get to play there, and it was a super nice time.
That was an
a
awesome
great
show.
night.
We had a blast playing with you guys, and we had Alice sit in with us, and
Yeah.
she played a few songs with us on fiddle, and it was awesome. And actually, She Cries. That was one of those songs that she
That's the one
played
she
with
played on?
us.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I
Nice.
loved the fiddle on that song specifically.
Yeah,
That
it
was
sounded really good.
For me, that was a moment. That's like one of the first, several tunes that I wrote. And we don't play it very often either. So that was kind of a, special one-off type thing. That was cool. Anyway, yeah, that's cool. Let's do this. Jim, you got one more song for us?
I got one more.
You got two more or one more?
I got one more.
Okay, so let's do this then. Jacob,
Yes.
where can we find you and Alice, Loose Ends, coming up soon?
All right. Alice and I will be playing on, I think, Friday the 30th. We'll be at Hempco, Dallas Hempco, which is a lovely dinner set. They serve a really delicious infused dinner, and we'll be playing music all night. And then on the 1st, our band is playing at O'Reilly's Bar, which is a great bar. Also, our full band is going to be here opening for Last Train to Juarez, which we're really excited about. That's going to be on July 21st. I think we're going to be in Roy City, downtown Roy City, on July 4th. We've been really, really fortunate to have a full band residency at Adair Saloon, which is a very cool
Sunday
place.
nights.
Yeah, it is currently on pause. I'm still waiting to find out if we're going to play this weekend or not. But we're definitely, that's just the beginning of our relationship with Adairs. I'm sure we're going to play some weekend gigs there.
If you don't know Adairs and even the significancy of the residency thing, Adairs is right in the heart of Deep Ellum. It's been a great place.
Been there a
that's
long
hosted
time.
so many musicians.
We're very,
Um,
very comfortable there. If you have been there, then you can. I think our band is like, we just feel right at home there. It's it's
names
chaotic
like
a little bit.
Cody Jinks
Yeah.
had a residency there. At one
1100
point in
Springs.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
So
we're steeped in the lore. We've done 7 weeks, and again, I'm hoping we get to do this weekend, but maybe not. We'll see. Sunday night is a rough slot. Sunday night at 10:30 to 1:30.
It is.
It's an
It is,
interesting
especially
slot
in
for sure. But we've
Dallas,
had an
especially in
incredible
Dallas.
time playing there, and we're definitely going to be getting some weekend slots there.
Cool.
And I think we'll pick it up back up after Labor Day is what I'm hearing. So. But that's been a really, really incredible time. I want to plug that and be like, come out to that, but we're still waiting to find out if we're going to do it this weekend or not.
But lots coming up. That June 30th.
Yeah. And you can find us on Facebook, and our website's jacobpriceaz.com, and we're pretty good about keeping the calendar up to date. But one way or another, you can find us at least once a weekend somewhere in DFW, and we're starting to venture out. We played in Oklahoma last weekend, and that was really fun. And
Hochtown.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. At Gutter Chaos.
Gutter
It was a
Chaos.
good-
Yeah, I've been
good
there
place,
once. I've been there.
Yeah, I want to explore that area more. Dang old Ho Chi Town. It's a
It's a brewery.
interesting
I mean,
town.
it's got all sorts of stuff going on up there. It's it's a hustle bustle spot for sure.
Yeah.
Beaver's Bend.
So yeah,
Ho
we're
Chi
out playing a
Beaver's
whole
Bend.
lot
Oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Beaver's Bend.
And hopefully more and more. You know, we're trying to play as much as we can and get the band out as much as we can, and you know, just see what crazy stages we can get onto. You know,
Y'all are
and,
crushing it, man. It's not easy, and I know that because I do it all the time. And it's not easy, and y'all are doing great.
It's a lot of
So,
fun though.
yeah.
Like, it's hard. The booking aspect is hard, you
Yeah,
know, and the
that's the
dealing
hard
with
part.
like all the rigmarole of it gets tiresome sometimes, or it's just difficult to
Yeah.
navigate, really.
Yeah.
But man, just getting to play on all these different stages and to all these different people and just experience each night being different has been just a blast. We're really having a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, and Jacob, you know, and Alice were my neighbors for a little while after we moved to Garland, right down the road from here, and
true.
it took us a little bit while to figure that out, and then you know, I didn't take advantage of going to play down the alley when I should have.
You
before
should
they.
have come.
I know. We're not going to talk about it.
We had some good
It's-
jams.
It hurts still. It
Oh,
still hurts.
And we love Garland,
this
by the way. I mean, we
beautiful
love
weeping willow that you guys had in your backyard that
Can't
they
even.
chopped. Then it started growing
Triggered.
back all nice and fluffy, and then me and Dad just saw on the way here that they chopped it again.
And yeah, we can't.
Just shook our heads.
Leave the weeping willows alone. It's fine.
Quit cutting down trees, y'all.
Yeah, quit,
Trees are the
especially
superior beings, and you
Garland.
should not cut them down. That's my official PSA. If I ever run for office, it's going to be on quit cutting down the goddamn trees, please. I'm going to put that on a pin.
.com.
Yeah. Like, honestly, yeah, triggered. I can't even, I can't even go
seriously.
there. But we loved living there, and I'm sorry we didn't get to hang out more when we were neighbors, but we're hanging out now.
We've
and that's
gotten
cool.
to hang out quite a bit. I
Yeah,
feel like
since
over
then,
the
you know,
last yeah. So maybe it just took them moving to bring us closer together. But no, Jacob and his band and his wife, fabulous musicians. Make sure you mark on the calendar and make some time to go check them out. Yeah. So, all right. So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna play one more, just cause, and because it's a Mason Adams show, and you don't have a choice. I'm gonna play one more. We're not gonna talk about what song is and whatever, all that. But then we're gonna wrap this thing up, which is in the traditional form. I leave. You guys then share the stage for one final tune together. Sound good?
Sounds
All right,
lovely.
so let me dig one out real quick. Yeah, why not? Well, I've been traveling down this lonesome trail, and it's been too long. But I figure what the hell, it's time to strap up my boots, saddle up my steed, and get back to you. Get back to you. It's sundown. When I cross that Colorado, I'm chasing shadows, hiding from the moonlight as the wind blows on. I hear them voices telling me, you better get back home, better get back home. And I just can't wait to get back home, gonna get back home. And I just can't wait to get it on, gonna get it on. her letters smell like her perfume. I can hear her laughter. It's filling up the room, and when she smiles, it's like the whole world stops and stares for a while. Say for a while. Ain't why I left the hood. Was running from the law with all those bank notes. Your deputy in the fall, and if the sheriff and his posse catch wind, they'll hang me a dog. Yeah, swing it, dog. But I just can't wait to get back home. Gonna get back home. I just can't wait to get it on. No, was sneaking through at night, climbing through her window. I was on the edge of town when they grabbed me and hauled me off to jail. Who's got my bail? Who's got my bail? And it must have been midnight. So reading me my rights, I heard us all boys enter through the side door and chuck that 12 gauge, followed by stick 'em up. He's coming with me. He's coming with me. And we fled into the night, looking for a catch, like two lovers on the run from the sheriff and his men. We've been gone for 7 years, and I just can't wait to get back home. Get back home. Just can't wait to get it on. Gonna get it on. But I just can't wait to get back home. Gonna get back home. But I just can't wait. Thank you. That one's called Get Back Home. All right, so we've come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 3. We'll be back here next week, same time, same place. New special guest, which you'll learn about later on this week. So if you wouldn't mind, if you've made it this far, go ahead and click share right now on that YouTube link. Get it out to one more person.
It's very important.
Send it out there to the interwebs. It's really not that important, but it would be cool if you did. We're going to try to keep this thing going a little bit longer. Next week, we'll have the new guest, and then we'll reassess what things are going to look like going forward with the Mason Adams Show. Either way, you know how it goes. Be kind, love one another, and thank you so much to my dad, Jim. Thank you so much, Jacob, for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate it. So now, in true, regular, traditional Mason Adams Show form, I'm going to turn it over to these guys for one more final tune. I'm going to say goodbye. Love you. Thank you so much. See you next week.
Well, thank you, Mason.
Thank you, Mason. Rolling down that long, dusty road. Hope I've got some time to go before I come near to finding my dreams, before my soul unfolds. You walked in my life not too long ago. You took away the clouds, you made me whole. Now I'm feeling so good, don't know what to do. I think I'll settle down, make sweet love with you. Yes, you, only you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice song. Nice song, Jim.
Thank you. That's called Rolling Down That Long Dusty Road.
Well, when did you write that? How is that a pretty new one?
That was written somewhere back in mid-70s. Yeah,
Nice.
mid-70s. Yep.
Cool. I'm trying to think of what to play. Y'all played love songs, both of you, and that was kind of nice.
Play us a love song.
If I do that, could I borrow your capo, please?
Yeah, sure.
Which, if Alice is watching, she's laughing as I ask that. She's like, "Get your own damn capo." There's one in my case, but it's way over there. All right, so this is a brand new song. So Mason took a chance. I'll take a chance. See how it goes. Not performed it very much at all, and not performed it with the band or anything. Sorry, that's too much context, huh? Slow dancing with you under the Coors Light sign in some seedy old bar over on the bad side of town, where nobody cares who the hell we are, or what we've been doing, or what we're doing it for. We're against all the lies and the tricks of this cruel old world, and its steel and its bricks and all that it holds. So close, but not like me and you, and how we sway together in the Lancaster blue. The Lancaster blue shining on two starry-eyed lovers caught up in each other in the Lancaster blue. There's a stage there in the corner, the band's holding it down, and we're stepping in time, just lost in the sounds. And the night, like castaway strangers caught in a moment forever in the Lancaster blue. Lancaster blue, and simple and true, giving in to desire like light in a fire from the Lancaster blue. Darling, I'll never tire of this dance on the wire in the Lancaster blue. Thank you. That one's called Lancaster Blue, and it's a brand new one. So I think I made it through okay. Thanks. Thank you. All right, sign us off. All right, well, this has been the Mason Adams Show, everybody. You can't see him, but I can see him. He's looking real good. He's doing that host thing, doing the host dance, throwing his hands up. So y'all keep tuning in. Keep coming out to Six Springs Tavern. There's great music here pretty much every night of the week as far as I know.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did. Good night.
I had a very nice time. Nice to meet you, Jim, by the way. Very nice songs, man. I appreciate it.
You got some great songs.
Appreciate getting to play with you.